Now this illustration deals with a three-phase squirrel cage induction type motor listed in our table 430.52. Now the note in our illustration, it points out that these three-phase induction motors can be either manufactured B, C, or D, maybe even an E in accordance with NEMA, Class B type motors. Now, notice that they are self-starting. You don't need a starter winding as we did in a single-phase type motor that was 120 or 240 volt. Now, notice that usually the electricians will leave the conductor length long enough in the disconnect, say L1 and L2, that they could swap the rotation. You know, all we have to do is just swap either L1 and L2 and it'll rotate in the opposite direction that it was rotating before the swap. But now if you have an induction single phase motor, then you know you have to change the direction of the current in relationship to the starter and run winding. So you actually have to remove the pecker head or the cover of the motor and actually manually make these connections. Now, this figure 18-18 is illustrating this induction squirrel cage type motor that's listed in table 430.52 is being either a Y connected motor, as you see at in the illustration, or a delta connected type motor. And it depends on the voltage from the utility, and usually now the voltage is always Y, 277 480 or 12208. But there's still a lot of delta out there, and you can get a delta connection type transformer if the utility will be in full agreement with the designer or the contractor making the request, or you would have to set a transformer and bring in Y and convert it and transform it to a delta type connection. Now that's what this figure 18-18 is illustrating, a three-phase induction squirrel cage type motor listed in table 430.52.